What if Africa disappeared tomorrow? Not just the land itself, but the people, the cultures, the languages, the ideas, the workers, the music, the history, and every resource connected to it. What would the world actually look like? Most people would probably think life would continue normally at first. Cars would still move, people would still go to work, businesses would still open, and social media would still be full of noise. But slowly, little by little, the world would begin to feel something missing. Not emotionally at first, physically, economically, socially. The systems people depend on every single day would begin to crack. Factories across the world would start slowing down because many of the minerals used in phones, computers, electric cars, and batteries come from Africa. Companies would panic trying to replace cobalt, lithium, gold, platinum, copper, and oil that industries rely on every day. The same people who barely think about Africa would suddenly realize their modern lifestyles were connected to it the entire time. Electric vehicles would become harder to produce. Technology prices would rise. Manufacturing would slow. Entire supply chains would collapse because the truth is, the modern world is deeply dependent on African resources, even if many people never acknowledge it. And it would not stop there. Supermarkets and restaurants around the world would begin feeling the effects too. Coffee from Ethiopia, tea from Kenya, cocoa from West Africa, fruits, flowers, cotton, and countless exports that quietly support global markets would suddenly disappear. Prices would rise everywhere. Shortages would begin. Industries worth billions would suffer because Africa feeds more of the world than people realize. So many nations benefit from African land while speaking about the continent as if it contributes nothing. That contradiction alone says a lot about how the world sees value. But Africa is not only resources. The real power of Africa has always been its people. Across Europe, America, the Middle East, and many other places, millions of Africans wake up every day and help keep societies running. They work in hospitals, construction sites, transportation systems, schools, security companies, farms, and businesses. Many leave their homes searching for opportunities and end up becoming part of the backbone of economies that often disrespect them. If they suddenly vanished, hospitals would lose nurses and doctors, companies would lose workers, communities would lose families, and entire industries would struggle to replace the labor and dedication they once took for granted. Then there is culture. Without Africa, the world would sound different. Music itself would lose a huge part of its soul. So many genres people celebrate today carry African roots, whether they realize it or not. From jazz to blues, from hip-hop to Afrobeat, from dance rhythms to fashion and storytelling, Africa has shaped global culture for generations. The world copies African creativity every day while still treating the continent like it is behind. That is the irony. People enjoy the culture, wear the style, dance to the music, use the resources, and benefit from the labor, but still look down on the people connected to it. And maybe that is the saddest part of all. Africa has spent centuries giving to the world while being treated as if it has little value. Its resources were taken, its people enslaved, its history rewritten, and even today, many only talk about Africa when there is war, poverty, or disaster. Rarely do people stop and speak about the intelligence, the beauty, the innovation, the resilience, and the humanity that exists across the continent. The world became so used to taking from Africa that it forgot how much it actually depends on it. But this story is bigger than Africa alone, because the deeper truth is that no part of humanity survives alone. No country is truly self-made. The richest nations still depend on workers, resources, and relationships with other parts of the world. Humanity was never supposed to be about superiority. No race was created to stand above another. No nation was meant to see itself as more human than the rest. The moment we start believing some people matter less, we slowly destroy the very idea of unity that keeps civilization alive. Real progress does not come from exploitation. It does not come from greed or treating weaker nations like tools to be used. Real progress comes from fairness, from respect, from understanding that every human being carries value no matter where they were born. A child born in Africa deserves the same dignity as a child born anywhere else. Pain feels the same in every language. Hunger feels the same in every country. Dreams are human, not national. Maybe if Africa disappeared, the world would finally understand that the people it underestimated were never small at all. Maybe it would finally realize that humanity is strongest when we grow together instead of competing over who matters more. Because in the end, the world does not collapse when one continent disappears. It collapses when people stop seeing each other as equal human beings. So maybe the real question is not whether the world could survive without Africa, but how much better could this world become if we finally learned to treat every nation, every culture, and every person with the same fairness, dignity, and respect we all hope to receive ourselves. Thank you for your time, and let's treat each other with the same respect no matter the origin, because at the end of the day, we all die, we all bleed, and we all are made of flesh. We are all from the same origin.